Hey everyone, how you doing today? Thought I'd get busy on this base again and try to get the last parts of it done, or at least pretty close to done in this video here. Now I did do a little bit more tweaking and detailing off screen again, trying to get like this side a little bit better looking. It's a little bit rough with the textures available on concrete, and that's what most all the hull. In fact, I think all the hull is built out of, except for some trim pieces on the outside of it, like this ring around the hangar door here. Last video was working on the inside, or this wall over here. Now I did make a change to where the shield goes. I changed the block work around it. I do like this formation better. It was something that was on my to-do list. I didn't really like what I had there in the previous video, so I just basically just swapped out the some trim blocks around the edges here a little bit. I don't know. I just like the formation a little bit better than what was there before. So today's goals are two things. One, to get this part done up over here, and two, to take a look at the feet or the legs or whatnot on the base and try to come up with something to get the base off the ground, structurally sound, and look better than what's there right now. So those are the goals. I'll start with the inside though. So let me get the HUD on here. Now what I was thinking about doing, I've got all this room up on top here, and I got a lot of parts to put in, and there is room back here obviously too, like this little back room area. But what I wanted to do is try to display some of the parts on the front of it, or upgrade parts, things like that. Maybe solar capacitors, maybe generators, fuel tanks, oxygen tanks, all that kind of stuff. One other thing I was thinking about doing too is building a little housing over here for a teleporter. It's something I didn't put in the base yet. I also got to be mindful of where I want to put a potential repair console in here. So a couple more things. But to start with, let's get busy with this part up here. And I'm not sure how the ceiling is going to connect yet. I got the ceiling, it kind of rounds off over here, but I changed it on that side. It'll probably be changed on this side as well. But I wanted to fit the parts first and then figure out how the ceiling is going to line up to it. So what I was thinking about doing is we have kind of this formation display of these thin blocks down over here around the medical area. And if I could display generators up above there somehow, I mean, out of the way of hurting anybody, in some kind of formation to align with that, that would be kind of neat. I don't know if that's going to be quite able to be done, but there's two ways we can go about this. One, we can display generators like sideways like this over here, which might not be a bad thing. Let me let's put one there, and let me just reverse this one. Now, these are a lot of these are going to be upgrade parts. So in other words, they're not going to be in the base stock. It's just going to be a place to, if you need more power, you know, if you add a bunch of furnaces and all the constructors and you just need more power in the base, it'd be really nice to have that available. So that's kind of what's going on here. So to start with, yeah, let's just try to build some kind of housing over here to make the generators look kind of like they're supposed to go there, one way or another. Now, again, too, all the interior blocks here are carbon substrate, where the whole of this is all concrete. I did swap out a lot of blocks that I screwed up on. I had carbon substrate in this area. They are concrete once again, which it needs to be for the hit points. The concrete blocks are way stronger than the carbon substrate blocks are. All right, so we've got a couple spots over there. Let's try to tell you what. I'm going to put a wall just across here. We might change that. In fact, let's change it right over these pieces here, and put in. I don't know, I've been trying to embrace some curvy action in this build as well. It is human. Not trying to do it like Kriel though. Just some kind of extra detail like that going around, and maybe this block here should not be the way it was either. Let's just put in a full block there. Okay, a couple of generator locations, goes all the way up to the ceiling there, which is actually fine. Alright, that's one part. Now, some other parts I wanted to definitely get in here is places for fuel and O2, as well as solar capacitors. Now that's two generators. Now it's going to have another generator in the back room yet too, so this is just, again, extra stuff. But I'm trying to utilize this area up here. There's really nothing going on here right now, and it would it's got a lot of room to hold stuff, so that's kind of what I'm looking at here. So maybe a couple solar capacitors. I wish I could, these do not rotate quite the way you'd want them to. I can't like have a right and left version of this part here. And do we want them right there? I don't know. So let's do that, and let's try, again, I'm just trying to get some detail in here, so let's try to get maybe some roundy stuff there. I don't think there's really anything I can do with this area. Be a place for a fuel tank or something like that. Alright, that should work right now. Let's try to do some kind of trim along here. And again, I need to have concrete blocks above where the solar panels are now, and this is going to have to line up to that as well. So, but I'll only put concrete blocks where they need to be. Try to keep the cost down a little bit that way. Not that they're very expensive, but okay, so that's all kind of in a nice formation. Now, let's do one more thin block here. And then we're going to have to line that up somehow to the ceiling over here. So let's get rid of some of this stuff for now. The thing that bothers me, I guess, some though, is some of this isn't lining up here. Like, you notice it's off over on this side here, lining up to where this is to the beams here. Maybe that's not a big deal. I'm going to try to not worry about that right now and just keep running with it. Let's get some other blocks in here. I don't know if that's the best choice for blocks either, but they are concrete at least, and it doesn't want to go that far down here. And I just don't like this alignment thing going on here. Get rid of those two as well. And run that across like that. This one also goes away. Okay, so we already got concrete on that side there. You really need to get something a little bit decorative in here, but here, I tell you what, let's bend these back up this way here, except for where those beams are coming in at. That, and this also has to be concrete here. There, so I don't know. It's gonna be weird, isn't it? It's just where they don't really quite line up to anything. Well, I'll keep running with it for now. I don't like that, but maybe it can look alright. Alright, so we also got to seal up this whole area up on top. So let's get rid of some more of this stuff, and I'll just run this beam straight over to there for now. And I'll put in that and some more of these. And over here, so we've got our concrete blocks above there already, so let's go oops, it was already selected on it. There we go. And this is going to have to be concrete here as well. Probably there, and all these blocks in between are going to have to be concrete. Okay, how about some more? Here, let's try this this key here. I'm going to hold down Control and hit right click to grab that block. Yeah, I'm trying to incorporate that into my building. It's just one of those things that I never really used much before, and well, it could certainly save some time in places. Now I'm noticing some more glitches with blocks on this base too. I think we can see one happening right now where you don't see the side surface on some blocks. And I noticed that on the outside of the base too on all of these. The textures are disappearing right now on the inside, so it's kind of a new bug. So I'm hoping that doesn't hurt anything. And hopefully, I've seen little bugs like that before, and the devs did get those fixed up. So I'm hoping they're aware of that. But for now, it's going to throw everything off, and I actually won't even be able to finish the base up and texture these surfaces because they disappear now. But yeah, pretty minor. Okay, so we've got a couple solar capacitors, a couple generators displayed over here. I don't think I want too much more displayed in this general area at the time. Now, the thing that bothers me is look at all this space over here that I'm really not utilizing. Now, maybe I could put in a ladder and have it go to a CPU room there, but it's again, it doesn't really need a lot of CPU going on in this base. There'll be upgrades, and I'll probably allow it to go all the way up to like a Core 9 Reforged Eden build, or at least a Tier 4 base build in vanilla. So either way. Alright, I'm just trying to figure out what to do over here, so I keep on buzzing back and forth. Well, let's get a doorway in here too. That's something else that's going to be needed. Let me rotate that around so we can texture that surface, and I ran out of those blocks. Let's grab some more. Put that there, so we'll have a door there. Yeah, I'm thinking I should just keep on rounding this part up here. I put in a couple kind of curvy blocks here I thought was kind of worked out all right there. I just kind of want to get this area filled in for now. Something like that. Okay, so we got the ceiling kind of lining up there, except for this part now. Okay, so what we want to do, let's make another beam that comes out on the other side of this capacitor to match that side. So let's say we had a block like that, and one of these. I do like this block. Do wish you could change the texture between that surface right there and the surface right above it. But it is a useful block, though. And let's get rid of that one. We'll put in a concrete piece here. And I think the rest of this just can be filled in here for now. So let's put in a couple of those. I should be using that control key thing. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Quicker. Again, if you see where I could use it and I didn't, it's not because it's not a better way to go. It's just simply because I'm not thinking about it. Because I'm, again, just trying to get used to that, which is pretty cool. Probably call it the discovery of the month. So there's always discoveries in this game, so that's a thing. So let's try to make the ceiling look a little bit more interesting above these capacitors too. So I'll just get in some, I don't know, nothing special blocks here, just to give it a little detail or something. How about these thin things? So we could do a couple of those. And if we can get the textures to look good with that, we'll be in pretty good shape. Let's change this top piece though. Let's go with this, so it can kind of line up to the center, and let's add in some more decoration here. How about some old school pipes that go right over across the top? Now, I guess I don't like how the insides are working out right now. Maybe I will go with, oops. I can't see. There we go. Alright, and how about, I don't know, how about just a half block like that, or half thin block like that instead. Okay, so now I got a little display, kind of lines up in formation to this chunk. We do have room on the ceiling up here as well. And that ceiling is going to the outer hall, so we can't modify that too much. We could add in some, you know, we can. If we can, we should. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out these full blocks in these two areas just to add in some other block with a little bit more detail or texture detail somehow. Here's the thing, I don't know which way, since it's concrete, I can not really tell which way this is going, so I'm going to try to paint it. So I'm 180 off, so I want to flop these blocks around the opposite direction that they are now. So let's do that and then rotate it. So now I know I can texture this surface independent from the other surface. And I think I'm going to just go with a very simple design here. Swap out the full blocks for those. Now we get this little ridge line thing going on here, which isn't cool because now we're going to lose this airtight thing. Okay, so let me change that exactly 180 degrees here. So let's flop them around this way instead, and that should seal up underneath where the solar panels were. Otherwise, I could potentially have an air leak there. All right, so I guess so we've got some of the walls set up over here. A lot of blocks are in place, and we got again a bunch of room back over here. Could add a ladder or something coming up this side to actually give you access to this part of the base as well. Again, I just don't really have anything to put there, but extra room is never a bad thing. All right, let's do a little texturing in this area here. So, doing with concrete, the idea I'm going to go for pretty typical, but I'm going to try to go dark on these inset areas, and then light on the non-inset areas, basically, to give this kind of white and dark contrast in the section here. So then we can go over here. I'll grab the default gray. And again, I so wish concrete just had those some base like smooth metal textures in here. That would be really awesome. How about that? I should have done them both the same way here. Okay, so we got those in place. And I think what I'm going to do is just kind of darken out the rest of this on the inside here too. Probably run more of these things in the corners. And this piece here. Let's also go dark here. Love to pick a different texture for it, but it's not really anything available. Well, try to just go straight up like the carpet texture here. The insides. Okay, now these are going to be probably white memes here. Something like that. I like to put some, okay, so these are carbon though, so I can put something else here. I probably should. Maybe 3 of those. That doesn't look so bad. This one is carbon. All 3 of these are carbon. So yeah, we can actually put a different texture here too. How about some vents? Random vents over here. Alright, so we got that in place. This piece here, now we're going into concrete. Not too many texture options there, but let's try to keep it uniform for now. And this should all be white here as well, so I can put in some smooth metal in places. That back row, that should be that shade 2. here. Get them all. Nope. Yeah, it's gonna be a problem. Alright, and how about like a control thing there, but not on the two sides. We'll put something else there. And then this would look good if it was dark too, I think. So, since we're all the other texture, maybe we can do something like that. Maybe add in, I don't know, some kind of vent or something on the middle. Split that up a little bit. And why not add a little texture light here too? Maybe in the centers. Just flip that one, or to replace that and that. Alright, so over here, I think the only option I got again is to use this one if I want it to match that. So I will do that texture there. Oh, and this is, yeah, that's going to be a problem. I don't even know how I can really finish the base and texture this if the stuff is disappearing. And why is it disappearing here and not on the other ones? I don't quite get that, because this is the only one it's doing that to. Is it something to do with, and it's the same block next to it too. That is so weird. Let me get rid of this one. I just want to see if there's a way, a solution to this problem. Like, as soon as I got rid of the block next to it, you can see the surface again. So I guess that would allow me to texture it. But then when I put this in, it disappears. Why doesn't it do it over here? It's the same block. It's literally the same exact block formation too. Oh, that's so weird. Anyway, okay, I guess we'll have to get rid of that, and then we can see this surface again. I guess we'll put that in place there. Probably ought to do this side over here too. Didn't even look at it. Oops. That's a weird bug. That's all I can say. Is it something to do with the material? Yeah, I put that in, that disappears. But it straight up doesn't do it with the other ones. I don't know. It's just goofy. Anyway, not the end of the world. Looks like you can still texture the stuff at least, so that's good. Oh, I was going to try to do something fancy up here with some lights, but again, I can't because of the concrete. I only have that material here, so I think we're going to have to just not bother with that. Like a little trim thing there. That probably ought to, you know what? Let's do this in red. Oh. One in the middle. Let's just do this dark. Okay. And the surface area here now. I guess just kind of white. Maybe use this texture here. There's so much concrete in the mix that I can't really do too much here. Okay, that actually worked with that one. And we gotta get these. As well. Okay. Not so bad there. And let's fill this part in. And we're missing. Okay, so that is just carpet texture here. More like that. so it's disappearing there too. What happened to my... Oh. Okay. This should be that there too. It's like, gotta go to a different texture thing for that. Alright, so we've got that. This part of the ceiling should be darker, I think. So, let's get this piece in. A little weird here. Pretty weird here. Just some things don't line up. It's bothered me. So that is the weirdness. Alright, so those, and what can we possibly put here? Well, this, no, we don't want to use that texture. Try another row like this across. Keep that area, yeah, let's just keep this white, and then that will divide up the dark here because the formations don't line up. Make it a little harder to see the difference there. Maybe just that. That's boring. Yeah. I don't know what to texture this with. There's just not anything cool here. Maybe put in a couple vents off-centered over there. That's just weird. It's I don't know if I'm gonna get over that how this is set up here with the beams lining up differently. We got another missing texture here now. Things take extra long times because of all these, especially going to mixed materials like this where they all got their own random texture palettes. Just kind of a nightmare thing to deal with. It'd be nice to not mix materials so much, but then you're going to have a disadvantage on a lot of things, hit points and costs and everything else. So it's a good thing, I guess, to do this, but man, is it annoying. Okay, so these should be kind of line up, and this should be that. And no idea over here. Could try to put in more of these things, and then I could actually do some smooth metal over here. And some carpet. Bright and cheery. I guess more of these. So tired of using that. Oh my goodness, am I tired of using that texture. It's a nice texture though. Glad it's here. And let's get something over the door. Maybe that, or how about a texture light? And how about a vent? And this should be orange. I don't know anything in particular. Console thingy. And we're back over to white. Just kind of make those pretty smooth. Let's black this area out here. And some of this too, actually. Can we put anything worthwhile there? A couple of those. And let's try to get in here with a couple of these. Let me get these capacitors out of here for now. And let's put a backing block here. few of them. This pipe thing here. It's weird. Alright, but it's alright. I think it should work out. What do we texture this with? Try putting something different here that we can use with this. And maybe that there in the center. Flat there, and then let's dark out, make the back here dark. Alright, then this pipe. And these things here, so they should be, let's go to just a different shade of gray for the heck of it here. Maybe make it look technical somehow. And something, no, not that. What else could we put here? Should I try more of these? Alright, and then in the center, could try to add some kind of texture light here. This concrete, well, at least that's something there. Alright, so, and how about some of this on the ground, and maybe that in the center there. Okay, so now I got a little area for solar capacitors, so I guess we'll just put some symbols on there right now. What do I call these? Some SCs. I don't know if I want to go that far with it, or just capacitors. I don't know. I guess that works for now. All right, let's do the same thing with the generators. Get those out of there for now, and make a little housing for there. Let's get some backing blocks in here too. I'll just leave that for now. And these are white walls here, so let's put in like that texture there on the sides and darken this out over here. I have to use that texture so much. Let's find something else here. How about some of that instead? Okay, so just go with my normal layout. I don't know why I do this, but I guess I used to call these T1s, so I've been just calling 1x3 generators T1s. I don't think that's necessarily correct, but that's kind of how I've been doing it in the past. And you know what? Let's replace that middle texture with something else too. How about that? Give it a little bit of something in there. All right, so we do have some locations for parts displayed on the front. Okay, so let's take a look at some other aspects here. Now in the back, I might just do this off screen here, because I wanted to get to some other parts in this video here. But really, what I'm going to have in here is probably like I don't know. I don't even know if I'm going to have a 1x3 generator, maybe a couple of 1x2 generators, or something like this. Fuel tanks, air tanks. I actually kind of wanted to move this and put a ladder up here and just give the player access to this open area, which I can kind of try to detail a little bit, but just kind of leave some open space for, I don't know, whatever. Maybe there's future stuff that we're going to want in bases too. But okay, so most of that is set up. Let's take a look at, let's play around with the teleporter. Now, it's not going to come stock with a teleporter, but it'd be nice to have a location to put it at least. So, I'm going to get a base teleporter here, and I'll just kind of dunk it in. Ooh, that is right in front of that, though. I don't like that. I didn't even think about that one. So I kind of wanted it here, but I don't want to block that. How about we put it on this side instead? That'd probably make more sense. Okay, so let's put that in, and then the goal here would be to make some kind of housing around it to look neat. And I think I'm going to modify that block. We'll go with the curve, but kind of the curve that goes into the medium. Let's try that out for now. And then on the other side of that, let's just make this kind of, I don't know, different, I guess. Let's like do that, get rid of this one as well. And that was another place where I could have used that control thing and accessed it a little quicker. And above it, let's try one of these. A little bit of a facing there. And okay, so we got concrete wall going outside. What can we put here? Like that. So we got a gray on the bottom. Part of this two-tone thing going on here. And then white or different gray on the top. Texture light and maybe something a little thingy. Yeah, that'll work. And let's black this area out here. Let's put in that. A couple of those, make it all look technical there. Okay, so now we got a little housing for a teleporter. And let's black this area out too. Try to continue this red right to the hangar door. Gonna have to do it with this though. There's no other, I can't match it other than that texture. Oh yeah, that one was wrong too. Man, that, 3 of those in the same spot, that's bad. Let's put something in the middle at least, break that up. Alright, so this area here too, this sucks. We got the glossy and then we got the carpet. Maybe I'll put like that in there. And unfortunately, more of these things. Okay, well that works. At least it's all the textures got the same surface qualities there. Alright. Well, there's that. Now I'm going to do LCDs on the side too, and I got to put in some LCDs, and I wanted to make a new one for the storage that I would like to come up with a design that's easy to edit, that you can put in like at least a couple lines of like what might be stored in each one of these containers, as well as the normal thing like cargo bay, 320K, but might say, hey, this is ores and whatever. And then you can change that to whatever it's going to be. So, all right. So a lot of this is working out pretty good. I was looking at this texture here, and I'm just curious what would happen if I tried to put in one of these over here. It is a maintenance area technically in there, and I haven't used that texture, I don't think, anywhere in the base yet. So, okay. Well, it's coming together. Didn't add lighting to it yet, and that's something else that's gonna need to be done. Right now it's probably super dark if it's at nighttime, but I really wanted to get to the feet area and light that up a little bit later and try to detail it a little bit more as well. Like the other side's kind of lit up, but again, the lighting in the base is kind of like first run. There'll be little tweaks along the way to try to by sight to maybe mix it up a little bit and whatnot. So for the most part, the inner wall and everything is done in the base. I got this area to finish up. I may do that off screen. There's not much going on back here. It's not going to be a pretty room. I'll try to make it look somewhat nice, but let's get outside and do something a little more complicated right now. But first thing I'm going to do is save the base because I want to relocate the base somewhere else here. So I hit the oh here, let's, what am I calling this right now? Temp function base. Yeah, I didn't make multiple copies of this, but I guess I've been fairly trusting that I'm not going to screw it up. Probably a bad idea. And every time I go to save something, the game, or try to load in something, the game just locks up on me for like 30 seconds right now. So sorry about that. I can't move. I can't do a thing. I don't know what's going on in the background. There it goes. Okay, so it finally finished up. There's just a delay there. Probably wasn't 30 seconds, probably closer to 10 seconds. Looks like I screwed up part of the ceiling here too. But I did all that. Let me make sure that I have the structural integrity off. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is spawn the base in above ground, or at least try to. I say try to because it just, I don't know what goes on with the game here. It just totally screws up when I try to do anything here. It just takes forever and a day to spawn something now. I don't know what it's doing. Come on, come on. There we go. Just wanted to get this elevated so I can see the bottom. Oh yeah, we got to get the core inside the base yet too. So now that we can see the bottom side, what I wanted to do is to build like some feet for this thing to sit on, but it's gotta be cool with structural integrity. So when I do the feet, I don't want like the feet any further away from the corners than maybe one block in, just so it can support these turrets that are kind of hung over there. And this might be a lot of copying and pasting too, because if I build 1 foot design that works, then I can copy that to the other corners of the base and then do something else on the inside to keep the structural integrity going. So I think the first thing, now the feet, you know what, just to be safe, I'm going to do those in, I don't know, maybe partial concrete, at least like 1 block in the middle. That would be the main support block we'll do in concrete, and then maybe the other pieces around it in something else. And one idea I've got is to start with that and then put in let's reverse that. Let's flip that upside down like that instead. And then I'll probably just use, I guess, carbon here and put in, what would look good there? Not too many options, but, or you know what? I will swap out that middle block for one that's got a little bit the thicker edge on it. I'm thinking about just doing like that. I'm going something like this around the 4 sides of it. And let's get rid of that and go with the other version here with a half block. So it lines up. And is there anything neat that could be put on the inside as detailing? Let me take a look at some things here. Is there any of these weird angled things that could work here? I don't think so, though. I think they'll stick out of the edges if I try this. Maybe not, though. These are pretty inexpensive. Oh, I don't like that flickering through the edge there. Nah. Kind of a neat idea, but I think there's going to be a lot of problems if I try to do. Yeah, I won't be able to have the formation go the same way. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah, there's a right and left of this. Okay, so it could work. It's just that flickering looks bad. I could hide that though. These pieces should be really cheap. Okay, so we got flickering just on the two edges. Let's just cover that up. And you know what? Might as well just do it on all four edges to keep it uniform. And okay, so we got some kind of like foot design. So let's texture that up and copy it all over the place. Maybe it'll have a center one too on the sides. The sides aren't uniform, so it's a little hard to line some of this up, but it could work. And what do we do here? Maybe something like that. Let's go with the dark. And the feet. Let's just go with a different color. Let's do this in gray, kind of randomly. Try to get some kind of texture here. And maybe these around there. Could make some kind of texture light here. Maybe like that. Bottom. Yeah, I know you're never going to see this, but I might as well do something with it. Yeah, I guess we see some glitches on the bottom there too with that passing through there, but it's alright. And can we put anything different on the inside? There. That look alright? Let's do these dark. Just figured I'd finalize it before I did anything else with this piece. Let's add a texture, or not a texture, a decal here. Right around the ring on that side. Let's see, can we do anything neat on these? No, not really. You know what? We'll get rid of two of those textures and let's put in some dots or something here, and swap this out for something smoother where that doesn't look bad on. Maybe that. Probably should be like that all the way around. There would be no reason to have vents coming through the feet upward. That just doesn't really actually make any sense anyway. So, all right. So we got a foot. Maybe. I don't know if I'm going to like it yet or not, but anyway, so we have a foot. So let's go to copy this. I have to go pretty far out to make sure I get those end blocks, but that was a bit extreme there. Okay. Any other details to add to it before copying it? I don't think so. Okay, so let's copy and paste it. I guess we'll start up and do the other corner over here first. Guess I don't need to get rid of that block, but we could. And we want that in that location there, just kind of tucked in one block. And do another copy and paste. You know, that will actually get rid of that block automatically when I paste this, so let's just do that. Alright, and let's get one on the other corner. Now, question is, do I want more feet in the center locations? It's not really a center point, but yeah, let's try it. So I'm going to get rid of these two things, and we'll copy you. This over here somewhere. Where would be the logical center point here? Right below that piece. It's not really the center, but or maybe line it up so it comes in on the same of this formation. So let's start on that row. So I would want to move this over 2 more to there then. That could work. Let's try it. Okay, and let's do one more copy and paste. Yeah, and if you build a lot too, I mean, not every design works with the copy paste, but always keep this in mind when you're building, because it can really make it can take a whole lot less time doing certain things this way than it would be if you try to build them all out and everything like that. Okay, so that would add 6 feet. We got to do something in the center yet, though. Otherwise, I fear the structural integrity wouldn't be good enough. And we'll try to pop this on the ground and take a look at this the structural integrity as well, turned on. Now, I will paint the whole bottom side of this too. Probably just black it, or yeah, make it pretty much dark, so you just don't see anything here. So I don't like these little thingies here either. We got to come up with a better design for this. So we do have an area that's pretty solid going across here, with the ramps coming into the base, and they kind of go right down the center. So whatever formations or blocks I put here, I believe should line up to those pieces. So I tell you what, let's what I would almost want to do to really guarantee the structural integrity would be to just put a solid row straight across here. It's kind of a waste of blocks, so it's going to use more blocks than I would like it to, but it would work and look better, I think, too. So let's try it. Let's go with God, do I want to use ultra cheap blocks or just concrete? I guess concretes are cheap too. I mean, act like concrete cost a lot. They don't. All right. I don't know if I like that either. Pretty solid here, but okay, we can do more with this. We can do more with this. Let's try something different. I wasn't sure if I was going to like that or not. That's kind of the problem. I didn't really like it. So, what if we change it around and got rid of that again. Sorry. Wasn't sure if that was going to be neat or not, but what I'm trying to do now is, I don't know, trying to line these up isn't a great thing though. Man, you know what? Never mind. You're not going to see this. I don't know what I'm worried about, to be honest. But it would give it a good solid part of structural integrity here, especially if these are connected to the ground. Okay, so let's just let's do kind of a blackout texture here for now. I'll try to detail that a little bit better later. Paint like that across there. Alright, let me do one other thing here, and I guess the last part I want to check the structural integrity, but I got to get the core away from there, and I'll put it in a temporary location over here for now. Till that room gets finished off. Again, that's a pretty small task there. It's not a big room. Got some other areas too. This wall's awfully plain. Needs something going on there. So there's some more little touches and tweaks I need to do. But okay, so we've got that in place. Yeah, it's just a problem. The way this base is set up, these even the landing feet don't really go to any particular formation, which is kind of a problem because all the walls are kind of asymmetrically done, sort of. I mean, like every formation is different going around the base, and they don't line up to a particular point or anything like that. So the feet look a little weird, but whatever. Let's resave this. Go through this saving thing. Okay, so overwrite it again. Wait. I get so impatient with this. It's just like, I don't know what it's doing. I just don't know what it's doing. Come on. Come back. There we go. Alright, so let's find the flattest area of ground I can find, or about over here. Oh, getting close to that stuff. I don't want to draw that in. Yeah, it is really hard to find flat ground in the game. So that's kind of why the base has the legs here. Let's try to get in here and spawn it. God, I don't know what's up with this game and this with this stuff though. I don't know why it just freaks out and hangs every time I try to spawn anything or save anything or whatnot. Come on, come on. There. Alright. So, let's put this in a likely scenario here. I guess, yeah, that looks pretty good. Just want to make sure those feet connect. It's going to be really hard to tell, though. Let's put that, like, oh, and then it's half in the ground on the other side. Just trying to pretend like I was trying to spawn this in actual gameplay and didn't want to lose the base or have it collapse or something because I didn't spawn it good. So yeah, as in all those feet, I guess you'll see them a little bit, typically, maybe some, but for the most part, yeah, the whole thing is about, oh, wait a minute, I forgot to do something. Can we can't undo a base spawn, can we? No, I didn't think so. Better hit redo. Let's spawn it one more time. I forgot to turn this back on before I spawn the base. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we gotta deal with this part now. And have it hang for a minute. Maybe it's just my copy of the game. Maybe I need to, maybe I got too many blueprints or something around and it's freaking it out, but I don't know. It does this now and then it goes away, then it does it some more. Okay, so that looks like we're kind of in the ground here. Let's say. Ramp's a little awkward there, but let's put this in. And let's get into the debug mode here and take a look at structural integrity. And yeah, this is what I wanted to see. We are very green on this. Weakest point would be a little bit here, not even close to be wanting to collapse. So, and you're going to see all the lights always in red, and certain things just show up in red, but yeah, this would be its weakest point in the center area of the hangar, which makes sense, but it's nowhere weak enough to collapse. So these would have to be like bright red for it would collapse, and it's not even close. So, or actually maybe that's the weakest point right there. But yeah, right around this area. But it's not a thing. It's not a thing. So cool. So a lot's been done. It'll probably be the last video, and I do on this build. And my goal right now would be to just go through and finish this up. A lot of detailing. I'll finish up that back room. You know, all these little problems that it's got. Finish up the lighting in it, and make sure it's all got O2 in the other room. I don't think that's going to be a issue whatsoever. And do that back room up, and gosh, I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, repair console. I wanted a place for a repair console, and I think there's a perfect opportunity for that. Let me just dump one of those in here a minute. And since you can put in a repair bay, do I have that set up? I don't have that set up. That's something else I got to do. I got to put maybe in the center here, make sure it's airtight sealed on the bottom side, and put in a repair bay. I guess I'll just do that in this video too. Let's say we have the repair console there, which I think would be a great spot for it. Let's even do that, and I guess just white. It's human, and then we're say right here. Oh, that doesn't even center. Nothing centers. I hate that. Yeah, I can't really put the repair bay too far off on the sides on this base, but yeah, I don't have a center point. Could try to put it on one end or the other of the hangar, maybe, or out of the way over here in front of the repair console. I don't know. Nothing. It's not going to really line up anywhere I put it. What's below here? Oh, ground. I'll tell you what. I won't do that now. I will. I'm going to have to spawn it up in the air again, and whatnot, so I can see the bottom. I'll just put that in when I'm painting the rest of it. But definitely a good place for a repair console. And yeah, so just about there. So yeah, plan on releasing this probably this Saturday, I'm guessing. So that'll give me a couple days just to fiddle around and try to dial in all these last things and get the lighting tweaked out, and come up with a name. Right now I was thinking of calling it, because this was sort of based on the Farpoint base that I made a long time ago, although this is bigger than the Farpoint base is. I don't know. I was trying to think of a name for it, and I was thinking about just calling it like Farpoint 2. But I don't know if it's not really quite like the Farpoint base either. I'll just come up with some other name for it. If you guys have any ideas, I won't name it for a couple days yet until I release it. So if you got any thoughts on what to call this, just throw that in the comments there, and I'll definitely consider any of the names there. Hopefully pick one of them. If not, I don't know what to call it exactly. Farpoint something or Waypoint something would be very similar to how the other human bases were named. So, but other than that, that's all I've got for today. I did do more work on the Kriel ship too, but I'll show that on the next video, possibly tomorrow. I've been working on stuff, but it's not really ready to show yet. I've been trying to get that other floor done. And so both of these projects are getting really close to being complete now. So I'm pretty happy about that. I'll start thinking about the next project here pretty soon, on you know, what else is going on. And then there's also this whole Reforged Eden 2 thing. And some people were, well, I heard at least from one person that some other people are saying I shouldn't try that right now because it might make me annoyed. But I don't know about that. It's I have a feeling they changed a lot of the stats with CPU and stuff around. I don't know all the differences though. I don't really know anything at this point. But I have a feeling that a lot of the past Reforged Eden creations are not going to work right, at least right out of the box in Reforged Eden 2. That's kind of what I got the idea of, but I don't know if that's true or not. It's just where I'm thinking right now. which is all right. I don't mind building some new stuff or maybe seeing what it takes to fix existing creations. Now, a little while back, too, I also brought up that I wanted to bring in some of the older creations and try to uh, see if they can be fixed and updated to the modern Reforged Eden game. I sort of stopped. I changed my mind on that because of Reforged Eden 2. Like, if I go through right now and look at the older creations and find good candidates to fix up to make work right in Reforged Eden, I'll be doing it for the wrong version because Reforged Eden 2 is coming out, and I don't want to do that project until Reforged Eden 2 because that would be just a waste of time if I update them all right now or some of them at least, and then like a month from now they'll all be broken again. And so I just thought I'd push that back until Reforged Eden 2 was like out and like pretty much finalized on its settings and CPU specs and all that stuff. It's probably in flux right now, trying to dial it in. So be a bad time to do that. So anyway, that's all I've got for today. If you got any ideas for future builds too, let me know in comments, just like the name for this base and the name actually for that Kriel thing. I was originally, or I keep on calling it the Kriel thing. I don't even have it displayed here right now. It's somewhere in the area, but I was going to call it Mantis, but I don't think I will call it Mantis. It's going to be a Kriel Elder something or other, so it'd be like a named thing. And what I mean by that is like the Kriel Elder Bahamut. It was kind of, it was trying to look a little bit like a dragon-ish, sort of. But I didn't call it dragon. I picked a name of a dragon to call it. And the same idea with the other Kriel Elder. Rather than, it's might have a little bit of mantis, like the insect mantis qualities. But I wouldn't want to call it mantis. I would want to call it a name of a mantis in some kind of lure or, sci-fi or whatever. So it'd be kind of like a named thing like that. So that's kind of what I'm looking for on a name for it. I just don't know what that name would be yet. So anyway, y'all have yourself a great day, and I'll talk to you later.